I'm back with the HMP Lightning. Now, if you think this looks familiar, it should a little bit. This is actually not the same bike that I filmed before. Previously, I had the prototype of the HMP Lightning. Now, I have a production version. That's right, this is one of the bikes that rolled off of the factory line. And good news I have is that the base price of $29.99 hasn't gone up. So you can still pick one of these up for under $3,000 before you count in shipping and other possible costs, which is a really good deal for something that's 72 volts, over 5,000 watts. We're gonna test the power output right here because I wanna see how it compares to the original, which let me get the numbers from the original. So it was 124 pound-feet of torque and just over 5,000 watts. If the new motor works as promised, we might even get a little more peak power out of it. Supposedly it has a smoother start, not quite as abrupt. I didn't find the abruptness bad. It was very controllable, but that thing did launch off the line quite quick for what it is. And this bike has some of the other new features that were promised. So it now has the regen braking that the original did not. It now has, they call it liquid cooling. I think I should explain what they mean by liquid cooling. There's not like a radiator and hoses running in and out, but there is actually liquid filled inside of the hub that's flowing around all of the coils and everything, and it's carrying heat to the case. I don't know if that's the right definition for liquid cooled, but I can understand why they want to advertise it that way. It makes sense, and it absolutely is a technique that works on hub motors like this. The other thing you've got in the new model is two battery options. The battery is tucked in on the very bottom of the scooter here, underneath everything. And the original had a 72 volt, 30 amp hour battery, but there's also an option now for a larger, 50% larger to be exact, 72 volt, 45 amp hour, which is what I have right here. So we should have better braking, longer range, potentially more power, basically everything the original had and more. And honestly, I loved the original scooter. It was great. I had no complaints with it. So this is gonna be my first shakedown ride on the production model. I still think this is one of the best deals out there for fast, powerful, two-wheel electric transportation there is right now. I was able to do my commute on this bike before with the smaller battery. I think with this bigger 45 amp hour, this would make an awesome commuter. All right, we are in drive. We're gonna put it in level 3. That's the most amount of power. Let's go. It's a zippy little thing. I feel like I'm forgetting something because I don't have my backpack on, because it's under the seat in the big giant storage compartment. I also have the charger tucked in down there. Oh yeah, this thing scoots right along. So the performance should be a little better, not just because of the motor changes they made, but with the slightly bigger battery option that this one has, should see a little bit less voltage drop. Not that it was a problem on the one before, it had plenty of power. This thing comes as a totally 100% street legal moped. They are limited from the factory to 30 miles an hour. They come with MCO, so you can get a title for it. They also have the California emissions label. So if you're in California, you don't have to worry about weird regulations that you think you wouldn't need for an electric bike, but you do. And the starting price for the smaller battery is still $29.99. $3,000 is a killer deal for this. You're gonna pay several $100s more if you bump up the battery, but I think that's a worthwhile upgrade if you need the range. This is still my favorite bike. I was hesitant to say bike, scooter, motorcycle. It's my favorite thing that's in the shop for two people. It's the most comfortable, it has the most passenger room. You can do two up on the Rivet bikes, and
you know, I've got a trike that has a seat for another person, but this one is the most fun. Now, I did say this comes as a street legal moped, which means that's limited to 30 miles an hour. Looks like I'm going a little faster than that. If you unlock it, which this one has been. Our battery's sitting at 95%.
The other change for production is the color. This is the all black, which looks basically the same as the prototype, other than it's more of a gloss finish. But there's also a white, which has a brown seat. And honestly, the white looks really nice, looks very classy. I personally wouldn't have minded having the white one as a demo bike, even though white normally kind of gets dirty easily. It just looks really good in the pictures. But I will happily settle for whatever demo bike HMP will give me. So this is our demo bike right now, and this will live at Area 13. So if you want to come test out this very scooter, you can.
The acceleration is nice and smooth. Now, if you didn't watch some of the other videos I've put out on this, basically they want this thing to be able to go up hills. So it might not be the fastest thing on two wheels, but it has lots of torque and it performs very well. They want the motor to stay cool. They want this thing to be very reliable. They want people to be able to buy this and use it for delivery services and commuting and things where you're gonna ride all day long and not have to worry about the motor or the controller overheating.
Now, ordinarily, I would say a moped-style scooter might not be my favorite, as far as looks go, at least. But I forget all about that when I ride this. It just handles so well. I can take these turns at 50 miles an hour. It just feels so nimble. I really like how this thing handles. It's just something you got to experience.
But they are not going for the lightest battery. They are using lithium phosphate LiFePO4 chemistry because it is longer lasting. You can put more cycles through them. They're more tolerant to temperature changes. So these batteries are going to last a long time. They might offer some lithium ion batteries at some point if people want it, so you could pack in even more range. But the lithium phosphate really is a nice, reliable chemistry, and that's what they want. They want this thing to be super, uber reliable. So what have I done? 7.5 miles. Now, it was mostly downhill, but I only used like 11% of the battery, and I was cruising. I like that the turn signals have an audible beep that you can hear, so you don't forget to leave them on.
That was the downhill leg of the commute. Let's see how this does going back uphill all the way tomorrow.
Cruise control just kicks on automatically. It's kind of nice for long stretches. So I did not bother charging with the original, that slightly smaller 30 amp hour battery, which is still an option. I felt more comfortable charging in the middle of my commute round trips, but I feel like 45 is enough for me that I don't even need to. So I didn't even bother plugging it in last night. I think I just realized what I was doing wrong yesterday. When I first started riding, I got this thing up to like 44 miles an hour or something like that, and it just would not go faster, but I had the throttle pinned. I had the cruise control turned on. I can't believe I didn't think of that till just now. That's totally what it was. You know what's interesting about this? Around that last turn right there, I have scraped the pegs on the Naxion and some other bikes, but your feet are up on top here. You don't have pegs out to the side, so when you lean this thing way over, there's nothing to scrape. I mean, you basically would have to scrape the body, which, I don't know, that's probably nearly impossible. So if I remember correctly, these are 12-inch tires and wheels, which is the same diameter as another project I'm working on. That's a custom thing that's going to have a ridiculous amount of power. And if this is what it feels like to ride handling-wise, it's going to be a lot of fun. Stay tuned for that one. There's that cruise control kicking on at 43, but I want to go a little faster. Let's see, what can we get up to 65% battery? $49, $50, and this is still a mild uphill. You know, I haven't even really talked about the suspension on this because I just haven't thought about it because it's so comfortable. I wouldn't change anything about it. It's not too soft, it's not too firm, it just works. It's probably helpful that the seat is just really comfortable. So it says ready. Oh, that's it. Look at that. So this is a hill. I just let go. It doesn't roll back. But a nice little feature that they added on the production scooter.
All right, just like the original, we've got 3 separate power settings. We're on number 3, batteries charged. Let's give it a go and see what we can get. And it appears that we have, in fact, got an improvement over the original. Remember I said 124 pound-feet of torque and 5,000 watts? Now we got 135 pound-feet of torque and just shy of 5,600 watts. So, I mean, roughly about a 10% power increase. I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm just gonna round that off to 5.6 kilowatts. So the Lightning goes back here, just above the Eohora Knight. That's where the original was. So it looks like these are going to fit in right next to each other. So it's not dethroning anything. It's just kind of giving it a bump up on the board.
So, some of my favorite things about this, you got a center stand. Basically everything's got the side stand. But if you need to do maintenance or you just want to park more securely, you have the nice center stand you can pop it up onto. Love that. Obviously the storage underneath, one of my favorite parts as well. You just turn this to the side to unlock it. There's my backpack crammed in there. Seat is really comfortable. Big enough for 2 people. Backrest so you don't feel uncomfortable like you're gonna fall off the back. Little pockets here, hook for grocery bag. I have been using the key, but it does have NFC cards, so you can use those to ride this as well. Just tap that on there so you can program your phone. If it has NFC built in, which a lot of them do these days, just tap that on there, turns it back off. Makes it really convenient, don't even need the key. I guess you still need the key to unlock the seat though, so there's that. Overall, I'm still just very happy with these. Quality is really, really nice. Suspension comfortable. Nothing I would change on these really at all. And that's not often that I get to say that. Usually I have little nitpicky things, and this one's just perfect the way it is. It's got the power, it's got the range, it's got utility, it's got a low price. I just couldn't ask for anything more out of this. So again, this is the HMP Lightning. And of course, last but not least,
If you want to come test ride one of these, this is our demo model that we keep at Area 13. You're welcome to swing by, try it out, ride it for yourself, and I think you'll be impressed as well.